Well, well, well. Nobody's here but me. Well, I am late, 17 minutes or so. That's okay. Let's see how this new clip looks while I'm just sitting here. Let's try this. I just put this together.
Did you know if you put your top lip and your bottom lip and you press them together, you will experience how to shut the fuck up.
Alrighty. Feel like that works pretty good. Be all right. Have some fun with that later. All right. Let's see. Going to be a slow night, it feels like. May not hang out long. We'll see how it goes. Certainly there's a lot going on tonight. If you were over at Andrew's earlier, you saw the debacle that was supposed to be a debate. The young fellow who was going to debate Andrew apparently, I don't know, chickened out. Something. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Loser. All right. And yeah, it looks sorry guys, I am typing here. One thing we are definitely going to talk about tonight is these midterms. If I hang out, if we get some people in here and we start, having some cool stuff go on, we were going to talk about these midterms and how blown the fuck out the left is being right now. They ain't doing so good. They ain't looking so good for them. Be honest with you, it's just not looking good. Time to go. And it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. We're going to just, I hate to harp on it, but we're going to have to because, so many times I had to listen to the lefties go, you're going to lose it in the midterms. Trump's just out of control. He's turning off his base. He's doing a bad, it's all bad. There's no good. It's all bad. No, that's not how any of that works. Hey, we got 3 people in here now. That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna be throwing this out there. Got a lot of stuff kind of going on out there in the world. A lot of interesting stuff, actually. My opinion. What's up, DIY? Good to see you. Glad that you're lurking. I do apologize. I'm kind of distracted. I'm trying to throw out the bat signal so we can get a few people up in the house. We got a lot going on tonight out there in YouTube land. We've got I mean, just a lot. You got Andrews going again. What's up, Michelle Nayakis? How are you? Good to see you back. It's been a minute. But yeah, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. We're going to have to talk about this political stuff because, well, it's everywhere right now. And remember now, all of the lefties were out there rattling their sabers and saying, you guys doomed the Republican Party. Doomed, I say. Doomed it because you elected Trump. Nobody likes that guy. I don't know if you checked, but California just may have elected or primaried out the Democrats. That's crazy. That never would have happened just a very short time ago. And we're definitely going to be talking about that. But we're also going to be talking about some, we'll do some, feminism, anti-feminism. That seems to be a popular topic right now. I did hear the whole weird deal about how we've got some guys out there that are talking about various things, including that blind women are the ultimate dating tool. I thought that was interesting. I don't agree with it, obviously. I think that's kind of weird to even say. But what do I know? And so I'm throwing out the bat signal here. So bear with me while I get into the mood. But there is a lot going on tonight. We have a ton of stuff going on out there. A lot of people are live tonight, as they should be. And it's going to be cool. It's going to be real cool. So, there's are some people also that I haven't seen around in a while. Grumple Stillskin among them. I haven't seen that dude in a minute. Really hope he's doing well. I saw Cam the King on for the first time in a while, so I'm glad that he made it. Yeah, so it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. But anyway, so if you haven't noticed, maybe you have, my entire news feed has been blown up all day today by what's been going on in California and a few other places with the Republicans winning in these districts in elections turning red. There's a really good chance that you will have an almost Republican, not quite Republican light governor in California, which would be insane to think of, because Newsom, if Newsom is allowed to stay there and all of the illegal and pseudo legal things that he's done, if he gets away with all of that, man, it's just terrible. But with the right people in there, he can be held accountable for his transactions. And so I just can't wait, to be honest with you. So, yeah. And it's, I can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. Now, why did that not? Yes, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Come on in. Throw up your, don't put your feet on the couch or anything, but come on, make yourselves comfortable. Sorry, guys, I'm typing here. Apologize. It's terrible. Yeah. What's up, Isaiah? You just popped up. I've seen you in months. I look great. I have lost some weight. iPad is 10% heading to bed. Best to me. Hey, I appreciate that. I have lost a lot of weight, like 40 pounds, maybe a little more. So, and I didn't just lose weight. I'm working out too. So I'm in that weird state right now where I drop, fat and I gain muscle, but my weight doesn't really change across the board. Yeah. So yeah, haven't seen me in months. Well, that's you get it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I toned up a lot. Yeah, muscle does weigh more. It does for sure. Yes, I'm in that weird position where I feel like I'm losing weight, but at the same time, the scale doesn't move. So it is what it is, man. But hey, man, I appreciate you noticing. Yeah, I do appreciate that. A lot. I mean, it took a year, right? So it didn't happen overnight for sure. I have a friend of mine actually in Arizona, and we were just talking the other day, and he was saying that how it took him, and he's roughly my age. It took him 3 years to get to where he wanted to be. Like the first year, the weight came off, but really the muscle didn't really come on like he wanted it to, and he felt kind of weak and stuff. And then between year 2 and 3, or 2 going in year 2, he made a lot of progress. Working out and stuff, and rebuilding. So, yeah, man, and he's like he's ripped now. I mean, it took him 3 years, and I'm in year. I mean, I'm coming up on where I started last year. So last year I went to Alaska for about a week, 10 days, something like that, 12 days, whatever it was. And when I got back, I weighed the heaviest I ever had in my life. So I decided right then that I was done with that. Also, didn't look that good. So it is what it is. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get this done. And I'm a slow typist. That's why I can't do the grot thing in the middle. Yeah. Yeah. You're 57, Isaiah, man. I got you, brother. Man, I tell you, it's rough, man. It's rough. Well, you have an excellent night yourself, Isaiah. Good to see you in the chat. Welcome to everyone else as well. I saw my man, Mr. 13 is out there. BIY is out there. Michelle Nyakas is out there. Good to see everybody. Everybody have a great night. Look, I know there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Andrew's live. Rob is live. Everybody's live tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, but and I may not be on very long. To be honest with you, I got up at 3:30 this morning. I'm a little tired, a little wired, and probably should call it an early night, but we'll see how the show goes. The problem is I could not do the show tonight because I was just looking at the results coming in from California, and California, man, it's rough. It's rough, right? And I've been listening for months now, like everyone else, like everyone listening to this, whether they're listening to it now or they're listening to it on the VOD, we've all been listening to the lefties and the sort of kind of conservatives like Counterpoints, for example, tell us that we were wrong, backing Trump, backing the right thing. It's not even so much that I back Trump. I just back what he wants to do. Right. And everybody is, we had so many people out there saying, you guys crazy. You're going to lose the midterms. You're going to lose the House. You're going to lose the Senate. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. Brother, we ain't never had it this good. We about to flip California red. That's something that they said could not happen. They said it couldn't happen, guys. That California would never be red again. I was actually one of them that said it would be almost impossible for it to happen because of the gerrymandering and the way that the left was able to push through the way the primaries are done. Since they only have a single primary, it's almost impossible to get a Republican through. But yet 56% of Californians want something different. They know there's something wrong. 56%. So they know that what is happening isn't working, and they've got to change. There's got to be change, and they can't just keep sticking the same Democrat in the same light plug and expecting a red light instead of a blue light. It's not going to work that way. It doesn't work that way. It never works that way. I mean, let's just be honest here. Sage Outcast, if you're in the audience lurking around, as I know you are, you're wrong, sir. You're wrong. You've been wrong this whole time. You think you know logistics. You don't know shit, my man. I mean, you know how to get freight from point A to point B, but you don't understand America, sir. You don't. I apologize for that I have to call you out specifically, but you come in my chat all the time and wrong. Proving me right every single time. Republicans have shown strong control over not just their party's direction in the 2026 primaries, but in every primary or election race in 2026. Every one of them. Trump-endorsed candidates are dominating, and especially the most high-profile races that are out there. The broader electoral look for the midterms seems challenging, but this is only because people are predisposed. They want to see what they want to see, and what they want to see is Trump bad, policies bad, traditional right bad, MAGA bad. What they need to see is bad. But the problem is that the public at large, all they see is good. It's good. We have good over here. We have bad over here. The left has been the bad for decades. And they're not changing anything. They are not changing a thing. It's the same old. And people are tired of it. And people that vote, most importantly, are tired of it. The Republicans in 2026 primaries have largely consolidated around a MAGA-aligned direction for a reason. Because America wants that. And not the Americans in stupid New York City where they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They let criminals out in an hour, arrest a guy for bank robbery, and he's back on the street an hour and a half. The fuck's up with that? That's wrong. Here in America, we call that wrong. Normal America. Rob Norris channel. Normal America. In everyday normal America, we don't want this. Even the Democrats don't want this. Yes, Mullet Baby, I've listened to this all year. Nuclear family, bad. Christians, bad. Heterosexual normality is bad. The left are hitting a wall, ladies and gentlemen. The left has hit a wall. They've hit a wall. Cam, I don't disagree with you on this, but look at what's happening out there, my man. You say both parties are shit and destroying this country actively. We have a weak laughingstock leaders. You say that, but we see the condemnation of the people who are not pro-America, you know, and while it kind of hurts, right? We had Massey last week. Everybody's like, oh man, Massey. It sucks. We lost Massey. And going by his voting record alone, you would tend to favor him. The problem is his voting record's one thing, and what comes out of his mouth is another, and what he supports is even another thing. And the problem with that is exactly what Cam is talking about. I do not consider Massey a particularly strong leader. I think that he had very good ideas, and he did not act upon them. And the ones he did act on were weird. And he got primaried out. Right. Now you can whine and cry about, well, they just spent more money than he did. Well, he didn't have to spend any money. Everybody knew who the fuck he was. Everybody knew who Massey was. They knew. He's been there for a long time. He wasn't pushing the agenda that Americans wanted. He wasn't pushing the agenda his constituents wanted. And he's gone because of it. That's it. Arthur Daya, welcome into the show. I haven't seen you that much lately. Honestly, the Republicans Congress have been a total disappointment. I agree. They get nothing done and fight amongst themselves. Trump is doing okay, aside from Iran. But I don't know what the rest of the is. That's okay. Republicans are the most feckless do-nothings that are squandering their control of House and Senate. I don't disagree with you, which is why a lot of them have to go. What's up, Straight Jacket? How are you? This is why a lot of them have to go. They have to go. I don't disagree with you, Arthur Dye, and I think that's why Massey had to go. All he wanted to do was argue with everybody else. There was no clear directionality there. I'm sad that he's gone in a lot of ways. I think he was salvageable. But at the same time, that's the game. That's what you sign up for. Now, obviously, everybody's talking about historically, the incumbent party does not win the midterms. The sitting president's party does not win the midterms. It's happened, I think, twice. Could happen again. Could happen again. Now, again, the Republicans in 2026 are mostly consolidating around MAGA. And not just MAGA, but MAGA as it relates to their states, to their constituents. And they align themselves with Trump. You cannot deny that Trump's influence remains dominant. Dominant. If he were, if he were from 100 years ago, 70 years ago, we would be talking about boot heels and whose necks are under them. Trump-backed candidates have secured multiple victories. And let's not forget, they're ousting candidates, throwing them to the curb that are incumbents, that have never even been challenged. A notable example, Thomas Massey, been talking about him. Raffensperger, is that how you say that? Raffensperger? Raffensperger? However you say his name, the fellow down in Texas. Been there forever. Literally did not think that he could get removed from office. This guy phoned it in, like Arthur Dye is talking about. This guy phoned it in because he didn't have to do anything for his constituents. This is the problem that we have in this country, ladies and gentlemen. The problem we have is not that the public elects bad politicians. No, sir. The problem is that these guys get in and they get embedded like ticks. And then they don't care what you say. They'll say whatever they need to in the election, and they'll go right to Congress and do nothing. Not a damn thing. Not one thing that you asked them to do. Because why? They're the incumbent. They're going to win. What's happened so far should send a level of shock through the system that hasn't been felt in decades. My man, Raging Patriot, throwing down $5 American. This should TTS. I don't hear it. Why is it not TTSing? I have the volume down. Oh, well. $5 came in from Raging Patriot 1776er. Cheers to sipping on liberal tears while we bitch and complain with no real change going on. We need a revolt to really make a change. Cheers to all. Exactly. And the revolt starts in the ballot box. Influence of foreign governments and money is a large problem in politics. It's not nearly as large a problem, not anywhere near as large a problem as the apathy of the voter who just keep electing the same fools over and over and over again. Can't have that anymore. And this, I hope, sends a message, a shockwave, if you will, throughout Congress. That you either do your job or fuck out. Now, I don't know how much you guys are paying attention to states like, I'm paying attention to Texas. You've got Ken Paxton defeated John Cornyn. I believe it's Cornyn. I believe he spells it with a Y. Which is another shift to the right. Now, we do have some things, like Trump endorsed the guy in Iowa, Randy something or the other, who lost his governor nomination to Zach Lon in an upset. That I wasn't paying attention to that one. I just happened to know that it happened. I looked on the sheet today and that was what it was. But this is the thing, guys. We have, for the last 15, 16 years, maybe 20, Rush warned us about this. Last 15 or 20 years, these incumbents, they're ticks. They just sit there, do nothing, suck the blood out of Americans. We were told nothing you could do about New Mexico going blue. We are told, California is going to be blue forever. It will never change. It will never go back to red. We're told that these half-hearted conservatives in Texas, especially around Austin, can never be uprooted. Yet here we are. In New Mexico, Greg Hull is running for governor. becomes governor that will position Republicans to challenge. This one will not TTS. It does not hit the limit. $4.99 from Straight Jacket 18. The problem is nobody walking the streets know what the problem is. We just bitch about the symptoms. I don't disagree. I think we know. I think we know what the problem is. Schwarzenegger was supposed to be the last Republican governor of California. They after he won, they changed the districts and they changed the way they did the primary. They were never he was never supposed to be governor, and he did a shitty job of it, more or less. And no other Republican was ever supposed to win again, and yet here we are. Yes, Cam, I agree. It's crazy. We basically have elderly, terminally ill leading the country that will be in the ground before they pay the price younger people pay for their. Yeah, I don't disagree with you for sure. You need a jaded libertarian to back you up. Yeah, Anson's hiding because he was wrong about Iran. I was right. He was wrong. He's hiding from me. It's all right. It's okay. I haven't paid attention to the mayoral race, but the governor's race in California is exciting. Even though that guy's a Brit, right? Even though Hilton is his name, I think is his name. He's a Brit. But dude, and he's conservative light, right? Like I would not be super I wouldn't be super what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't expect great things, but I expect a tide to change. I expect him to do some things that are great and some things that are not, but hopefully we can get more great than shit. And that would be wonderful in California, especially if it actually shows the people who live there that, hey, we've been getting screwed this whole time. That would be wonderful. All right. So term limit and political offices give zero pay. Isn't it an honor to serve? That is what they say to us. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I do believe that all members of Congress, as a matter of fact, I think that every politician should be audited every year or 2 years by the GAO. Yeah, that's what I think. Raging Patriot throws out, how about the 18-year-old that got stabbed in UK, Great Britain, and the cops did nothing to save him? He died in cuffs while they treated the criminal like he was a victim. We're going to talk about that. We'll get to that. Yeah, you're on the right track there. Yeah, politician used to not be a job that you wanted. It was a job that you did because you believed in it. That's true. Iran has not been a smashing success. Well, you're wrong. Iran is just about there's like zero downside for us and a lot of upside so far, especially getting China to kind of play ball a little stronger. I mean, they were playing ball already, but they can play ball a little stronger. All but one candidate, Hassan, supported in the primary, lost, but he went nuclear on his stream today, saying that the Dems are now in bed, something he calls AI techno. Wow. Well, Hassan's a moron. I mean, I don't know what you want to know about that. Yeah, let's add the audit in. I'm definitely like I can't believe that's it. We're currently negotiating with the wacky Islamic extremists, which remain in power, to open the Straits of Hormuz. Actually, we're negotiating with them to not turn that place into a parking lot. Let's not mince words. Okay, we've proven that we can destroy or kill all of them anytime we want to, and they need to come there. We're not negotiating with them; they're negotiating with us. And what they need us to go the fuck away. We're not doing that until they play ball. That's how it's going to work. Iran, literally everyone that said anything negative about Iran so far has been wrong. That should be a signal. That should be a signal. That should be a signal. Everybody's been wrong about it. Anyway, so back to the whole election thing. I'm sorry. You asked me about the governor in California. Yeah, I think that's where I think that's really good. I think that's a good first start. I think the governor of New Mexico also good first step. Hassan now has Destiny-like issues of females sending him adult content, no age verification, sharing them. Wow. His addiction to adult content he has on a separate laptop. Wow. I did not know that. I didn't need to know that. So, but thank you for, All right. Folks, what we've got here is we've got a kind of a return, if you will, or a turning to a more ideologically consistent and logical Republican Party. We're voters aren't stupid. This return or movement, if you will, to a more just consistent conservative Republican Party, that energizes the base. That energizes me. Okay. It energizes to get out there. It makes us ask questions. It raises questions about the general election appeal in swing districts, right? Because the left has maintained for so long that well, we turn out more. We are going to, we're going to win this thing. And historically, in the midterms, that's been true. But we just really, really, as far as the Republican voters, a lot of us are getting energized by this. We want this. We want the language. I love listening to however you say his name, Nick Freitas or Freitas, or however you say his name, the guy from Virginia. I love listening to his content. It's awesome. I've loved watching the congressional hearings lately, where you've got all of these Republican conservative senators holding these liberals' feet to the fire. You said this, and that's a lie. That's a lie. And that's what's been needed. That's what's been needed. That's what gets people like me and you and your friends to talk about this stuff. And it gets us to be energized, and it gets us to start looking closer at this. And it's just wonderful. It's wonderful what's happening right now. If you are not watching the congressional hearings, especially when they're doing like the carbon credits thing that they just had go on with Canada offering input, which was insane. When you had the EPA, the director of the EPA being interviewed by these lefties who are mad at him because he agrees with the Republican reforms, and he's trying to explain to them what the law is and how the Supreme Court ruled and why they can't do what they want to do. And they're literally outing themselves to just be fucking insane. Insane. They are insane. You've got to watch it live. It is so good. It is so good. Because this is not a Republican. This is just a guy who does his job, and he's probably a Democrat at night in his Superman clothes or whatever. But this guy stands there and looks at that weird bird-looking senator. I can never remember her name. The straight hair, wears all the Esmeralda jewelry and the witches get up. You know, he looks like Esmeralda from Bewitched a little bit, dark hair, not red. But anyway, this antique hag is sitting there telling the director of the EPA to ignore the Supreme Court's rulings and findings, and she has no idea what the case law is concerning what his job is and how he does it. She's no clue at all. And he outs her over and over and over again, and it's wonderful to watch. It's great. It's great. You should watch it. You should enjoy it. It will make you happy inside. You will feel tinglings of joy, or at least as much as politics can give you. I get excited about this stuff because this is what I've wanted. This is what I've needed. And every hearing's like that. Every hearing. These people who are sitting through these hearings, they're sick of it. They're sick of being overtalked. They're sick of being told they're dumb. They're sick of being told they're stupid. And they're fighting back. And they're fighting back with facts and logic and law, case law. Yeah, right, Arthur. I agree with you. The senators love grandstanding, but this was the director of EPA saying, I can't do that. That's against the law, lady. It's awesome. It's great. It's wonderful. It's the way it needs to be. But yes, they never change the problem because honestly, they never get a chance to because it never gets brought to a vote. This is something we as citizens need to hold their feet to the fire. These things need to come to a vote. These things need to, you need to hold their feet to the fire. And that's just the conservatives. The moderates, the middle of the roaders, independents, they're sick to death of this Democrat leftist nonsense. There's socialism that's not socialism, right? Now, there is an important point here. One of the issues that we've always had with the right is the infighting and the bullshit that our elected officials seem to engage in, and they need to stop that. And hopefully with things like what's going on with Massey and some of the others, it will stop. I saw that, Mullet Baby. The Dems in New Jersey actually nominated a terrorist. I cannot pronounce his name. Hamawi, whatever his name is, who was volunteering for Al Qaeda. That's true. Yes, Hamawi. What the fuck ever. Is a former armor medic radicalized by online content who has since denounced it, but still. The Democrats have nominated a legitimate terrorist. Legitimate. Like, this guy's legit terrorist. I don't know who they are. They don't like the trans stuff. They all want to continue the entitlement gravy train. I don't believe in that. They want free health care, free college, all loans forgiven, free child. Yeah, I mean, the lefties for certain do. Who are you speaking of? Arthur Dyer. Average voters. No, I disagree with you. This is a problem. I think that people think that loud voters are the average voters, and I think you're wrong. Most people. My dog is locked out of the house, and she's mad because she wants me to leave here and go there and let her in. I might in a moment. We'll throw some music on or something. Anyway, right. With people like Mitch gone, the Senate will get off its ass and get the SAVE Act passed and gets Trump Trump's appointees appointed. Maybe I disagree with you about average voters. I think average voters are sick the shit of this. I think that what you mean are the vocal voters all want that stuff, and those are not the average voters. Guys, give me 2 minutes. I don't know if I have something to, if I have a short clip here to play. But here, let me throw something up here. All right. All right, we're going to throw that up, and I will be right back. Boom, that quick. All right. Okay. Free the dog. I did. I didn't free her. I let her in the house. Basically, they want everything a husband with support at home could give them, but they don't want to support a husband at home. That's the core of the feminists now. Yes, probably true. Or the men on that side. Sure, I can agree with a lot of that. Yeah. So anyway, I again, I'll disagree a little bit. That I don't think the average voter wants more free stuff. I think the vocal voter does, and that's okay. So you'd be okay with free college. Something tells me that just may cut back on some of the numbers of stupid people. I disagree. So I think it should be really hard to go to college, like really hard, like insanely hard. And so you have to earn your place. I could agree with it being free, but it just would need to be very, very difficult to get into. All right. So where was I? I don't know. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything free in a long time. I pay for everything. So can you get some of that free stuff? No, but you can come up and hang out with me. You can come up and hang out with me. I'm going to throw you a link there, Clover. I can find my Discord. There we go. Can you get free some of that free stuff? Yeah. The average voter wants a chance to earn their keep and a chance to keep what they earn. That's true. It's such a basic desire. I would say almost all of us have it to some degree. Absolutely. So, actually, we propose that all the time, and we do. We just cut, and I mean, obviously, you can't do that in New York City because the politicians will just come out and say how bad it is. But when we propose cutting these things, it doesn't stop anything. And you can't actually cut Social Security. What you can do is restructure Social Security. So there you go. I agree with this. We need to stop subsidizing foreign nations 100%. Yeah, they recently made huge changes, and a lot less people get it. People were nuts when they were told they couldn't use SNAP for Candy, or when USA for Transgender African Studies. Yeah, but it was a very small number of people, Arthur Dias. See, that's the thing, is that, again, I said the loud vocal people, not the like actual people who vote. The thing is I think that the people who talk about all this stuff, they don't actually vote, which is weird that they keep getting their way. I've never heard about a merger between the U.S. and Israeli military. However, they're very good at making stuff. Yes, people are generically lazy. Yeah, get that. All right. Sorry, I sent that link to Clover. Maybe he'll come up. Maybe he won't. He may say, I don't really care. I want to. What's up, Smoking Spaceman? Good to see you. Yeah, sorry, guys. I got distracted by all of the stuff going on. Yeah. Oh, Arthur Dine knows that people abuse the fuck out of the system. She's just saying that people whine about it. But again, I don't think that it's most. See, I don't disagree that people do that. It's the word I have a problem with is most. Most. That's the problem I have. That's the part I have a problem with, because I don't believe that. Right? Like, I'm out in these streets and I listen to what people say. And so, you know, like, I had some people come and look at a rental I've got for rent right now, and these people come look at it, and they are of a specific type, and they were very unhappy that my house is very rural, and I'm pretty sure the pizza delivery doesn't get out there. I think there's one place that delivers pizza out there. And, and they were, so that's a subset. And then I had some other people who were just like, love it. It's rural, quiet, all of that. But both of them were talking about, we're very concerned about how much it was. Same deal. Same everybody has same thing. I don't care what brokies buy with their stamps, but it's funny. Shakita can't buy Snickers or Coke now. Back to sugared flavored water for them. I mean, whatever. Could be. Anyway, so let's get back to this. 24-224. Yeah. All right. So it is a tough environment for the GOP. Obviously, generic ballot polling consistently shows Democrats leading by 3 to 7 points, depending on the race, across the board. Now this, I don't buy that at all. This is just historic. This aligns with historic midterm swings against the president's party. I don't think there's any merit to any of this nonsense, and it's garbage, to be honest with you. Okay, I'll look into that. 2027 Defense Act. Multiple analysis predict that Democrats are favorites to flip the House, needing only a small net gain, obviously, of 3 seats. I think it's 2 or 3 seats to have control, which I don't think they'll be able to do anything with that few. I think that makes it kind of a lame duck House. But the problem with and my analysis of that analysis is they're dumb as fuck. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. They're literally just going by historic data and not current polling. They're not going by what people are actually saying, and they're not looking at how bad these people are getting blown out in primaries. And so I don't believe this at all. I quit believing it. I know everybody wants to talk about it. I know everybody's talking about it. I don't believe it at all. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So what? But I'm telling you, it's crazy. Obviously, we're better positioned in the Senate, and with all the redistricting and um, all of the maneuvering lately is it's going to be awesome for the Republicans, for the conservatives. And that's kind of where what I'm looking for, right? Now we gotta talk about this. What was his name? Nowak. What was his name? Mike Nowak, something like that. I know his last name was Nowak. So if you don't know, what happened is this young man in the UK was assassinated. There's no other way to say it. This young man was assassinated. He was killed. Oh, before I get into this, hold on. Raging Patriot, my man. So someone sent me an excerpt of some bulletin board that they go on where this lady was complaining that all of her benefits, all of the free stuff, all of the her Section 8 housing adjustments, her little stipend she got every month in cash, the food stamp or the EBT card, whatever it was, all of it got locked down, shut down, because while she was on all of these programs, she was driving a brand new BMW. And she was posting pictures of it and videos of it on Instagram and YouTube and all of that. And somebody dimed her ass out. And that's what's going to happen. And they looked into her and said, yeah, you can either sell the car and get some of it back, or not get any. So that's crazy. And yeah, it was so that was last year, I think it was. So yeah. And I'm going to agree also with Cam here. All the poor people I know don't have it easy. Their government check doesn't cover monthly expenses. I know a single mom of 4 kids getting $190 for SNAP got cut $53 because her dad got her a home. Yeah, there's some stuff like that. What's up, Clover Tack? How are you, my man? Let him get his right.
This thing working?
How you doing?
Okay, I had hell getting in here, man. I don't know what's going on. Of course, I'm on my phone. I don't hardly get on the.
Yeah, your mic's blurbing out.
Blurbing out.
Yeah, it's got that riveting frog sound. So,
all right, hold up.
I was just about to talk about the Nowak assassination over in sunny UK. So, for those of you who live under a rock and don't know, this young man named Henry Nowak. Yeah, Henry Nowak. In Southampton, UK. I believe he was 18-ish, and he was a university student. I believe it was his first year at university. He was fatally stabbed to death. There goes Clover. And it's become really controversial, highly controversial, ladies and gentlemen, due to the circumstances of the attack. And basically the killer's false claims, the police response, which is captured on body cam and is public, I believe, right now. And of course, this creates a lot of political fallout. So what happened is this kid Nowak, I believe they pronounce it Novak. I'll pronounce it Nowak. This kid was walking home from a night out with friends. He's in university. He's living life. He's having a great time. And then for some reason, he has a brief discussion, interaction, whatever, with this guy. And I had to pull his name up, Vikram Digwa. So they get into a little tussle. Digwa stabs Nowak, whatever his name is, 5 times in the chest, carrying a 8.5-inch Sikh ceremonial knife, which is called a kirpan, if you don't know. And one wound to the chest was fatal. Like the rest probably not have. Yeah, the fatal one was to the heart, right? Stabbed him right in the heart. So Digwa, however you say his name, is a British Sikh man. He remained at the scene. He handed his knife to his mother, who was later convicted of assisting an offender. So she was in the U.S. She would be considered an accessory after the fact, and lied to the police and told them that Nowak had racially abused and assaulted him. The police officers, when they got there, Nowak was still alive. And Digwa tells the cops that this guy stabbed him, or pardon me, the body cam footage shows that Nowak repeatedly saying he had been stabbed and I can't breathe while he's lying on the ground. The officers handcuff him while he's laying on the ground, with one literally saying something which you can't clearly hear, but it's along the lines of, "Don't think you have, mate. Don't think you have, mate." Which is basically saying that you're not stabbed that bad. He was treated as a suspect for a short time before any first aid began, and he died at the scene. The pathologist who performed the autopsy said that his injuries were unsurvivable regardless, but maybe, right? So all this happens. Digwa goes to court. He is convicted of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment for with a minimum term of 21 years. The judge noted that the religious knife carried a huge responsibility and should have only been used defensively. Now, why does all this matter, right? Why is everybody pissed off right now? Normal people in the UK can't carry a knife, but Sikh have a religious exemption. It is, and so a little bit of history here. So the UK used to have a real problem with muggings. They didn't really have a murder problem any worse than anybody else. But for some reason, the UK outlawed over time. First, they went after pistols, then they went after rifles, and went after shotguns. A lot of this was in response to the IRA and the long war with Ireland and in northern UK. But the bottom line is that nobody really, people weren't stabbing each other that much until they decided to make any assault, like mugging, the equivalent of murder. It's the same outcome if you go to court, which is, life imprisonment, as this young man got, or, well, no, that's it. That's all I do is life imprisonment. So so if you mug somebody in the UK, it's the same as if you knife them, if you stab them, if you beat them over the head with a baseball bat. So knife crimes went up. People were getting murdered because the law was the same. So and dead men tell no tales. So if there's no witness to identify you, then it's hard to prove that you mugged a guy. So the point of all of that is to say that it's basically illegal in the UK to own a knife over a certain dimension, even a cooking knife. And it's just a really interesting dynamic. I don't know why that they've gone this retarded, but they have. Now, the blade that this young man had, 8.5 inches, was legal for him to have because there was a religious exemption for the Sikh. And it wasn't it was used offensively. It literally, the guy just attacked this guy with a knife just for no damn good reason, we can tell. And the second reason that they're probably going to, end up, I mean, they've got riots and protests, and they're, basically it looks terrible in the streets over there, is because the body cam footage really looks like, it really, really looks like that the police have, for lack of a better word, institutional bias. And this has been something I've been complaining about for the last couple of years, where all of the, that the native Englanders, the English, the people who belong there, who came, who started out there, there's a bias against them for all of these foreigners who are coming into their country. And it's become almost a policy that these police officers prioritize racism and hate speech and all of these other accusations over actual victims, like this guy got stabbed. And it's gained a lot of attention in the UK. It really has. Now you've got some right-wing figures over there, and I can't. It's the Reform UK Party. I don't remember who heads that, but and right-wing commentators argue it exemplifies a two-tier or more policing and its failures in the integration and multicultural policies by, whereas UK has basically been bullied into letting these foreigners come into their home and then change the dynamic and change the laws and change things based around themselves. On the left, as you might expect, and this includes the Prime Minister, are warning against exploitation by the far right. As always, don't look at the problem, look at the people who are talking about the problem. And they're actually stoking the racial division, in my opinion. They're emphasizing that this is just an individual crime. It doesn't really matter, and it's not reflective of the Sikh community as a whole. And I would actually agree with that. I think most Sikhs I've met are not violent, rude people. Usually they're very quiet, polite people in my experience, but who cares? One just killed a guy. because they chatted or whatever. Now, there's tons of protests in Southampton. They're violent. They've turned very, very violent. There's clashes. It's a lot like back when BLM was rioting, except this time I think that they're probably rioting for the right reason, and the police are getting injured. I don't know how many police over there have been injured, but several have. And the best the UK has done so far, I have no faith in this, but the best they've done is they have what's called the Independent Office for Police Conduct. And they're investigating the officers, but that's been ongoing for a long time, and people are getting tired of no forward movement. Now, obviously, this fellow Novak's family has called for a change on knife crime while urging against communal hatred. His father describes him as he was a kind, ambitious young man, full of life, a lot of potential, all of that. But this is kind of the boiling point here that's been going on for a long time in the UK. And I think it's very interesting because the UK is often pointed to as how in theory successfully they've integrated all of these cultures into their culture, but they're not integrating them at all. And yes, Cam, they do have to cut their chicken with sporks. It's not, you're not wrong. Or really, really dull knives. So welcome back, Clover Tack. Is your mic working?
I have no idea. You tell me.
Yeah, it works great. That's way better. What did you do?
I had problems even getting into this. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, so. Interesting. So, what do you think about what's going on in Texas down there, man? You guys are doing, you guys are making some progress.
With what?
Well, you got rid of what's his name? I cannot think of the guy's name now. I just said it 2 minutes ago. Yeah, Cornyn. Yeah, got rid of that guy.
Yeah,
primaried his ass out.
Looks like, dude. Yeah. That fucker, man. I can remember. I don't know if I've told this story on your show or not, but I can remember when I was a rep for Texas State Rifle Association back in the day. He was at, of course, all the politicians were, him and Cruz and all of them, but we're always at the convention or whatever, right? The members meeting, whatever they called it. I don't remember. That fucker gave the best speeches, and then he would turn around and do Q&A, and then people would ask him questions on the side and whatever. And if you listen to his answers, talked a good fucking game in front of the microphones. But then you start doing Q&A or somebody catch him in the hallway or something like that. About an anti-gun motherfucker, man. Or let me back up. Anti-2A. Anti-2A. I'm not going to say he's anti-gun, because he's obviously not. But definitely anti-2A. He actually behind the scenes fought the suppressor shit.
Oh, really?
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
I don't get that, man. It's like, and it's not just the gun laws either, right? Like it's always bothered me that we have so many politicians that say one thing publicly and they turn around in the same day and they goof it up, right? Like they just they can't help themselves. So I've never understood that. I don't understand what they think they're winning. Yes, I understand he's turning into a frog, but it's okay. I can still understand him. It's something I think with the iPhones.
Is it stupid again?
It will. So when you'll talk for a couple of about half a sentence, and then it'll kind of frog out.
Yeah, that's weird.
Rip Haven, yes. I don't get very many people over on Twitch for some reason. So you're welcome to come over here onto the YouTube side and hang out with all the cool people. I'll throw that link down if so you won't feel like you're the only person. And come over and hang out with the rest of the guys. So, but anyway, yeah, it's an interesting. I think it's an interesting deal, right? Like, it's man, it's I just think that, I mean, this is honestly the most energized I've been for an election in a little while, to be honest. Like these guys, the midterms are just upset after upset. All of the trending is towards more conservative, more formative normal than anything else, right? Like it's just great. It's just great. Just wonderful. Massey, like I liked Massey. I got to be honest. If I went strictly by his voting record and I ignored a couple of times that he voted with Democrats against Republicans, if I just went based on that, I probably would have been upset that Massey lost. But because because I know that, that he did that, I'm like, yeah, you suck, dude. So, it is what it is. He dropped. Oh, there he's back. There we go. Okay, is that better?
I don't know if this
That is
doesn't
better.
if this doesn't work, then
That is way
I've
better.
got internet issues. Well, I'm inside on the podcast gear, so.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, that sounds just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's something, because it's not just been you. I think there's something, maybe in an update or something, that the iPhones do not like. They just don't like the various softwares. I've noticed it on a lot of channels lately.
Well, I can tell you this. I've jumped in, I don't know how many times on yours, and it just now did it. But it worries me, and here's why. I'm wondering if there was an update and it didn't screw something up. Here's the reason why. It would not let me get into Streamlabs with Chrome. I had to go through. It would not let me. It said, "Well, you can't do this on the iPhone. You have to use Safari." And I'm like, "What the hell?" Well, here's the fucked up thing: is my Mac is telling me now that it needs to update. So if I update this Mac and they're forcing everybody to use Safari, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I actually Monday I had or Sunday rather, I had my buddy Pat on, and we're talking gun stuff, and he had so much trouble getting in because he's using his wife's Mac, and he couldn't get Safari to work with it either. But now that could have just been he just didn't know what to do. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, Herrera win his district? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he? Isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's all like default, so he's just kind of waiting it out at this point.
Yeah. He primaried out, and then the Dem gave up, right?
Right.
Yeah, because his Republican opposition got caught in some sort of sex scandal, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Go figure. Yeah. Well, that the last time that they were supposed to be, the last time he went against that guy, the Republican status quo guys literally spent like $10 million. And I think Herrera said he spent like $1 million, and he only lost by like 400 votes or something really low like that. It was incredibly close to primarying him out. So, but California looks like they're going to have a red governor. for a change. So we might flip California red, and we might flip New Jersey, or not New Jersey, New Mexico red.
That would be fucking awesome. Put New Jersey. Wow.
Oh yeah, New Jersey. Well, New Jersey's you know, they're in a bit of a pickle because they're trying to do a bunch of stuff all at the same time. So I think New Jersey's really conflicted right now. So, but a lot of it's because the people from New York and New York City's pressuring New Jersey to start giving up or somehow making it possible for them to tax the people who live in New Jersey, a New York City or New York State additional income tax. So Mondami is he screwed the pooch, and now he's trying to figure out how to fix it, and he can't because he fucked up. So
right.
It's just the way it is. So yeah. So what have you been up to, man? It's been a minute since I've seen you on.
Me? Nah, it's been busy.
Yeah.
That's all, man. It's been busy.
Yeah, me too, man. Whose way did I vote? I did vote locally, but I mean my vote locally is like, like it's meaningful because it makes me feel better, but it's such a landslide margin, it just doesn't even matter. Although Marsha Blackburn might have a fight on her hands in my district. So we'll see. Yeah, I didn't vote in California. No, sir. I wish.
I mean, it's pretty easy out here.
Yeah, right. You're lucky I didn't vote 10 times in California.
I mean, I'm sure they'd even mail you a ballot. Probably.
I'm positive they'll mail me 10 ballots.
Probably. Yep. To Tennessee, too. Like they won't have a problem with that. Just call them and say, I need a ballot. Or 10 or 15. California
is such a weird state. So like if you have a lot of money, they bug you. If you have medium money, they really bug you. And so like I closed down my shop in California in 2015 going into 2016. Now the building I was renting the building, and the so that landlord, and he told me that one of the reasons I shut down is they were selling the building at some point in the near future, and and there were some other things that just made it optimum for me to just go ahead and retire.
All right.
But within about 2 or 3 years, by 2018, where my shop is a parking lot. There's nothing there. And I would still every year get a letter from the franchise tax board wanting money. And like, oh, hey, you haven't filed your taxes. This is what we think you owe. I mean, we'd be like, we don't owe you anything. We don't own a house there anymore. We don't, we don't do business there. And actually the guy we would call to talk to about it. Now he's not the guy who sent this stuff out. He was just a guy that investigated or whatever. Every year we call it the same guy, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I remember driving by that. That's a parking lot now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I just fill out the form and send it in. But every year it's like, oh yeah, that's a parking lot. Yeah, it is. Why are you guys trying to tax me like I'm still in business? Like I'm not working out in a parking lot.
Right.
It's just so stupid. Like, and that's the leftist ideology that we're fighting against, ladies and gentlemen, is that they will not believe that you're not doing business, and they're too lazy to go out and see if there's business being done there. Literally a parking lot. The address that they send, the address that they say that I'm doing business at no longer exists. You can't send mail there. It's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
It's just insane. It's just crazy. And, which, I mean, it's California, so you kind of expect it. Yeah. You live in Cali and you're not surprised it's stupid as hell in that state? Yeah. Yeah. It was so insane. And they're sending me a bill from California to Tennessee saying that I'm doing business in California.
That's funny.
And I'm like, no. Every year I'm like, no, dummy. And every year I call the same guy. Every year. It's the same thing. It's just nuts. So I don't know. I mean, so again, but I think the staggering factor is that 56% of Californians say that there has to be a change in the state. There has to be. And it's just it's just something that's got to go on. Hey, by the way, guys, I did a cool new video. Just check this out really quick.
Did you know if you put your top lip and your bottom lip and you press them together, you will experience how to shut the fuck up?
Do you like that one?
Yeah. Always.
That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. If you put your top lip and your bottom lip together like this. Oh, yeah. There's like 46 other states to pick from. That's true. If you put your top lip and your bottom lip together, you will experience. Shut the fuck up. I love that, man. Like somebody sent that to me in like a long format, and I clipped it down to like where it's perfect, and then I added the Joe Rogan thing because it just seems appropriate, right? It just seems appropriate.
Yeah.
And so, have you seen this meme going around about Joe Rogan interviewing the fuck is it? It's like it's like a the what do they call them?
I don't know.
Mark Carney is the prime minister, right, of Canadian land, right? So this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Hold on. Actually, this is Trump. Let me throw this up here. So we got to unmute it first. There we go. All right, and then we'll do a share the screen. You're gonna like this. You're gonna. I think you're gonna like this a lot. And we'll do it with volume. There we go.
What the hell is this digital services tax? A consumer tax disguised as policy?
Canada wants streaming platforms to support Canadian culture.
How much?
15% of revenue.
Revenue?
Exactly.
Canadian stories deserve discoverability.
People already watch what they want.
You sound like a Soviet librarian with a tax fetish.
This is about protecting Canadian identity.
Or driving companies away.
And consumers pay more.
Subscription prices go up. That's how math works.
Companies have social obligations.
Canada's 40 million people, Mark. You're acting like you have the leverage of the United States.
Canada acts like they're the main character.
Taking 15% changes investment decisions.
Government must intervene when markets fail.
You mean when consumers choose something else?
So people stopped watching CBC voluntarily, and now the government forces them to pay anyway?
Correct.
That is insane.
Keep it up, and you'll be rooming with Maduro pretty soon, Mark. Maybe you two can start a state-run streaming service together. Only Canada could open Netflix and say, you know what this needs? Higher prices in a government committee.
It's cop. It'll be heavy. Oh, we got cop.
Only Canada. Can you imagine? They're actually taxing streaming platforms.
Western Canada's all right for the most part.
Yeah, right.
We could take it. We could take it. I mean, that would give us a clear path to Alaska, which would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. So this is now this is Joe Rogan. This is not Joe Rogan. This is an AI Joe Rogan versus Mark Carney. This is pretty good too. I've been picking on everybody tonight, so Canada gets the smoke too.
Just so we're clear, I'm fact checking you in real time. No CBC filter, no banker spin, straight talk.
Joe, the world is more divided and dangerous than ever before.
more divided and dangerous than ever. Bro, we lived through World War I and World War II. Actual hell on earth. Global poverty's plunged from 40% to under 9 thanks to markets, not your Davos sermons. You're sitting on hundreds of millions from Brookfield. Spare us the scripted fear porn, you slimy banker.
Climate change is the greatest market failure in history. The IPCC gives us 12 years at most.
Greatest market failure. Every IPCC doomsday deadline since 1989 has been missed or quietly revised while your buddies in government media crank the panic volume. You're not a scientist, Mark. You're a central banker playing God with other people's money.
Carbon pricing is fair. It corrects inequality and funds the green transition we all need.
Fair? Europe's energy bills doubled. Pensioners choosing between heat and food. The poor pay the tax. Politicians and insiders like you pocket the upside. Classic slimy move.
ESG investing de-risks portfolios. Trillions are already shifting green.
Shifting straight into the red. BlackRock's ESG disaster lost billions while China fires up coal plants like it's an Olympic sport. Your risk management is just virtue signaling grift.
With rising U.S. tensions, Canada needs green independence through stakeholder capitalism and a new global order.
New global order? There it is. You're not saving the planet. You're undermining America, the one country still fighting for its actual citizens, so you and your Davos buddies can run the table. You cash in hard with Brookfield, your wife scores on government contracts, and liberal connections while Canadians lose factories, pipelines get killed, energy prices explode, and the country freezes in debt and forest fires. You're slicker and way more dangerous than Trudeau.
Yeah, so there you go. They've been going hard after Canada lately. Where's my Canadians? We're coming for Canadian next. The whole population has to leave since they're all gay. That's funny. The black comedian doing a skit about rednecks, how we would, if terrorists landed on the shores of Florida, the war would be over in 15 minutes. There'd be a line of pickup trucks and NASCARs lined up. Be hilarious. That is funny. That's a great bit. I love that bit.
The Florida Man Brigade.
Yeah. The Marines show up. The thing that it ends with the Marines. The Marines show up, and there's nothing but bass boats and shotgun shells left on the beach, and a bunch of rednecks going with a dude with a mullet and a beard going, "War's over, baby!"
Yeah, we got this.
They're like, "What happened?" Well, Cousin Elmer's got his bass boat's got 20 Evinrudes on that bit.
It goes.
War's over, baby.
It goes even further than that. Can you imagine, like a foreign entity of some sort trying to take, let's just say, L.A. for example?
Sure.
I mean, look at gangs, right?
Yeah.
They're not even just going to have redneck and normal American problems, but they're going to have street gang problems too. Like, at the end of the day, we're all armed, and we can all really quickly get on the same fucking page with that shit.
Yeah, it is actually that is something. I had a video saved talking about how. Oh man, I wish I could. Oh wait, maybe it's here.
But we're at a super unique position geographically. That. It just, I mean, it'll be digital. It'll be from within, something like that, like an invasion like that. That just ain't happening. I mean, we got oceans on either side. It's very bottlenecked as far as any type of land, and the oceans are vast. And like, we're gonna know their ships are coming and their equipment is coming along before they ever leave. And
I mean, we have air superiority. We rule the sea. We literally rule the seas. Like,
there's almost between the Mississippi, even if they were to make shore somehow, between the Mississippi, but armed citizens.
The worst thing is landing in Florida. Like, where are you going to land, bro? Where are you going to land your boats?
Well,
you better land in California.
You got to think they're smart enough. They probably would try to find the best place, but let's just say they do, East Coast or West Coast, either one. Um, you know, and it was, by sea. The problem that you're going to run into is them trying to get to the interior. You're going to have the Rockies and you're going to have the Mississippi. I mean, it's like we're just set up so great defensively as a country.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
You
but
got extreme heat in the south, right, coming through Mexico.
yeah,
You got extreme cold in the north. Both present their own unique problems. you know. Um, and then you got vast oceans on either side, and then you got
yeah,
interior hurdles or obstacles as well. Like it's pretty
and
sweet.
Florida man. We got Florida man.
Yeah.
Got Florida man. You can't write off Florida man because that bastard's gonna get them all killed. That's for sure. I'm trying to find this. If I can find this, it is just hilarious, man. It's hilarious. Where I had this, I saved this bit from a while back, but we'll see if I can find it. If I can't find it, it's fine. But it's so good. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. I just even the idea that somebody would like come through, um, and think that they could make it through, especially making it through Florida. Like between the drug dealers, the gangs, the Florida man, Florida woman, Florida teenager. I mean, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be really rough, you know. So, so, but yeah, you're right. I mean, a direct invasion would be like that would be
Well,
insane.
it's crazy. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you know, maybe isn't there a big naval base in the Pacific Northwest?
Um, yeah, I think so.
I know that San Diego is pretty hopping down in that way. Um,
Or
so
there's
I,
yeah, there's
I don't
there's
know
San
about
Diego's got the seals. Like
right. So I don't know about the West Coast, but the problem that you get into with the East Coast, you go too far north, and you get into the cold issue again. Right,
yeah,
and then too far north, when you're talking Maine and up in there, you're talking like heavily wooded and stuff and mountainous too. Um, but you've got a pretty big fleet kind of in the center of the East Coast too. So like I don't know, it's I've watched and read and for years, different scenarios that they played out, and what about this and what about that, and none of them end well. Like it's
right.
for
Yeah,
the
no,
invading
I get that.
force anyway. None of them end well.
Yeah,
Like I said, the only way is from within somehow, some kind of cyber warfare, disrupting, and I don't know, TikTok certainly could be something that's a tool to try to do that, but um, changing things on a societal level, um, that would be significant enough that there would be sympathizers here that allowed them in. And when I say sympathizers, like an entire state or something, um,
yeah,
that sort of thing.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you. Hey, look, anything's possible, but I mean, you just got to admit that it would be it's kind of crazy to even think about because of the simple fact of um I think this is it.
Just moving through Florida would be like fucking nom. Think about it with all the
Yeah,
wild, crazy wildlife that is loose and running around. Like, you got
yeah,
huge snakes, venomous snakes, big lizards, all kinds of shit.
yeah. Let me see if this is actually about the zombie apocalypse, but I um this would apply to any invasion. So this is some TikTok video that someone sent me and I thought was funny. So let me see how I do this. So all right. You got volume.
Well, I'd actually call it pretty good luck if the zombie apocalypse starts in Florida, because, then the zombies only have one place to go, and that's straight up into trigger-happy redneck territory. I give it about 2 weeks before monster trucks and mullets save us all.
Kind of the same thing.
Pretty good luck.
Same thing goes for same thing. Kind of the same thing goes for a foreign invasion. The monster trucks and mullets save you all.
Cajun Navy, baby.
That's right. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. You imagine? But yeah, I think it's all funny. I think it's all good. But no, we do more damage to ourselves than anybody else can do to us. That's for sure. So, but yeah. So what do you got going on this week? You got any? Are you live streaming? Are you uploading?
No.
A bunch of stuff? Are you?
Yeah, playing the Facebook game still. Thinking about. I did throw a short on YouTube the other day. I don't think I've uploaded anything. I've done the podcast obviously, but I don't think I've done anything since before NRA on that. I've been thinking about maybe cutting a couple videos, but YouTube is we talked about that. YouTube right now, it's kind of the dead part of the year. The whole gun tuber space has not been doing well anyway there. Talking about just traffic wise and stuff like that.
Yeah. I actually was talking to somebody else about that, and they pointed me to look at some specific channels, and it's interesting because you have you'll take a creator that ought to be like super popular and in a genre that should be super popular, but they just, for whatever reason, they're not. And it seems to be, to some degree, that it's how the material is presented and the subject matter, because there's so many people doing kind of the same torture tests on guns, or doing the same mods on guns, or doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And it's just like, there's not a lot that's differentiating people, channels, right? It's very interesting to me. I've been paying attention to it, and
there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of nuance, and there's a lot of variables to it, of course. But one of the things is this is where I think you potentially would have an issue, and I know for a fact I have an issue. So you do not build a huge follower subscriber base, and I don't give a fuck what platform I'm on. I've never been successful at that, right? I'm successful at other things, just not that. And I think it took me a while, but I think I finally nailed down part of the reason. And part of the reason is I'm too accessible. Like somebody can email me and, they're trying to figure out something on a gun or when it was made, or, and email them back. I'm there for the longest of times. I was in the comments and I would help people, that I would do this. If you look at a lot of the really, really big channels, they sit on their fucking pedestal. They don't really give a shit about anybody that watches the channel. They certainly don't reply to comments. Good fucking luck, other than some type of meet and greet you got to go pay for, being able to see them, talk to them, whatever. If you're lucky, they may spend 15 seconds getting a picture with you at SHOT Show if you run into them. That, and I'm not talking about you or me.
I understand exactly what you're talking about.
And I think that distance creates almost a movie star effect type thing that drives them to be able to build that those followers and subscribers.
Yeah, but it's not. So I'm
not saying it's all of the equation. I'm just saying that.
So I looked into that, and I think that there's probably some truth to that. But I also looked into the content itself and what people are putting out, and even the bigger channels, they're not getting the huge numbers. No,
it's low across the board, and especially during some especially right now going into summer. It's going to get even worse.
And so it's I think it's because you're right that those channels do restrict access, and they have really good, they put out good videos. But and I don't think it's about being approachable, right? Like, because Lucas Botkin is pretty approachable. I've talked to him. I talked to him at a match. I didn't even know who he was. Like, I was just chatting with him, and he didn't shoot the match. It was actually kind of a weird thing,
Right.
that a weird joke in our community for a long time is that he would
Right.
sign up, he would never shoot.
Yeah.
And I think that there's some. I think that there's two things going on. If we want to look at in the gun tuber space specifically, you have people who have been around forever, like Grand Thumb, like Lucas, and some others that are just going to do well because they've been out for a long time. They've gotten really good at production, really good at their show formats and themes and storylines and things like that. So they're really good at all that. They've got that ironed out. And then, and so they have the numbers. Even a bad video does well.
Yeah.
And they've
Yeah,
got
it's baked into the cake once you get to a certain point.
right. And so they're and they're, and there's some drama there that, that kind of
drama help
that they build in. And so that, I think, is why they are still where they are, but you don't see very many new channels come out and skyrocket up.
Well, so I don't know if you know this, but in the YouTube studio, there is an AI help agent. So I'm just gonna ask it, and it can look at your channel, and it does all kinds of cool stuff. By the way, if you're a creator out there, play around with it. It's interesting. So I'm going to type a question. The question we'll type is, what type of content should I be putting out if I want to grow subscribers? And would that content necessarily be different if I was trying to get as many views on those videos as possible? Let's just see what it says. Maybe a little slow. It's way slow, but it runs all the stuff on your channel, so
Sure.
it's one of the reasons it's slow. We'll see what it spits out. I'm just curious. I like playing around with things like that. So, fuck me, it wrote a book. Okay. It says, that's a great strategic question. Growing a subscriber base versus chasing high view counts often involves different content approaches, though they can certainly overlap. Based on your recent channel performance, and this is based on me, of course, viewer interaction, here's a breakdown of what the data suggests for your growth strategy. To convert viewers into subscribers, you need content that establishes you as a reliable authority or must-watch personality. What did I just say earlier? Right?
Yeah.
What did I just say?
Right.
Yeah. This typically means educational deep dive, highly opinionated content. Educational or informational. Let's see. Unique, must have gear advice. Okay. Content for maximum views. Content aimed at high view counts often leans into broader curiosity or entertainment value. This content needs to appeal to the passing viewer who might not know who you are. Big name, high interest comparisons. Talking about products, right? Major brands compared. That's what it's getting at. Popular guns compared, that sort of thing. Visual spectacles. which is blowing shit up, right?
Yep.
And troubleshooting slash drama, which to your point, right?
Yep.
Says the strategic difference. It said, while there is overlap, the primary difference lies in the call to action and structure. Reviews focus on a high impact hook, broader topics, and fast paced editing. For subs, focus on providing a unique solution or perspective that isn't available elsewhere. That's to your point of being different. You want the viewer to feel that by not subscribing, they're missing out on future knowledge. Interesting. And the rest of it's just is not really relevant to this conversation.
Right.
Personal, whatever, behind the scenes.
Yeah, I get it.
So right there, the AI is confirming what we're talking about, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it's weird to me. I mean, not weird. That's not really the right word, but
well, here's what gets me. I've got the same. I put a video of a crossbow on Facebook a few days ago. Within 2 days, it had over 4 million views. I took that same video, put it on YouTube. It has 1,500. 4 million, 4 fucking million, 1,500. Now, I get if it got 1 million and YouTube got tens of thousands, right? Like, okay, maybe I can see it, maybe, right? But that tells me that there's more luck and more it being a fucking crapshoot, I think, than people want to admit.
Well, certainly
because by all
true.
indications, if it is popular enough to get 4 million fucking views on Facebook, you should get more than 1,500 on YouTube. Come on.
Yeah.
Like that, how do you even try to make that track, right? And so, but here's what I was thinking of playing around with. That's why I said I may go do some more, may put a couple up on YouTube and see. I'm thinking about the Facebook content sucks, and I hate it. I think I've told you that. I hate making those videos because, like, here's a gun, the hammer cock's back, the safety's right here. Let's shoot some steel, ping, ping, ping. That's it. There's no when was it made. There's no how accurate it is. There's no what type of ammo does it like or not like. There's no, deep
a lot
dive
of it is
like none of that, right?
weird. Well, I mean, a lot of it's YouTube's weird algorithm, right? Like, so, and look, all right. So there's a creator I follow that is in the gun space. That's he's just a dude and he shoots and he puts up his USPSA stuff and his video's pretty well done. I wouldn't say they're like massively well done, but they're pretty well done, and he does a pretty good job of it. Now there's a girl who puts up basically the same stuff.
Oh, that's a
and her production's a little better, and it's maybe you could argue that that she that she's been kind of around a little longer. She's done like tactical games and stuff like that, and she'll do reviews every once in a while and that kind of thing. So you can argue that maybe she's a little bit broader than this guy, but her algorithm, it looks like it really seems like her algorithm is really strong and his algorithm is really not, even though the content is virtually the same.
Well, you cannot discount the tits and ass factor, dude.
Right. Absolutely. Sure.
It drives me fucking insane when I see creators, influencers, whatever, chicks that say something like, "Oh, I can't believe I got this many views, and I can't believe I got." Really, bitch?
Sure.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Like, really? And so, like, even if, here's the thing, even if, because most of the time you go look and they got a bikini fucking profile pic or something, right? You're like, oh, yeah, I wonder why you're getting views, you know. But even if it is a more low key chick, like, I'm sorry, they're
I think
creepers out the wazoo, dude, and creepers will sway the algorithms.
I got to be honest, man. I also feel like there's a massive, I think there's a massive skew too in the number, the way. All right, so in just the number of shares, right? So if I'm live, even if I have a really good show going, I get very few shares. But there are others.
Shares are huge. Shares are the best engagement trigger you can get, for sure.
Yeah, and yes, and it's odd, in my opinion, the way it works, because I don't know how to make it work better.
Well, the vast majority, here's the problem that you run into, right? I've talked about this repeatedly for a very long time. 95, 6, 7% plus of people that view your shit don't give a fuck. Not enough to comment, not enough to hit subscribe, not enough to fucking share. Share takes a commitment, because first of all, in order to share, you have to utilize a platform, right? You can't just be a fucking content vampire on a platform, right? You have to utilize that to have a reason or anything to share it to, right? And again, and I'm even talking to some that may be out there listening in the chat right now, like, you know, hey, your ears are burning, you know, you're one of these people. And I get it, because I'm that way with some channels. Totally that way with some channels. I'll get on, I'll consume the shit because it's information I'm looking for, whatever. Like, and I never come back. Like, I never go watch their shit. And there are other channels too that I'm a content vampire too. With the digital age we're in and the stuff being in our face all the time, like, I bitch about it, I point it out and I bitch about it, but at the same time, I'm guilty of it and I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Well, I think I'm going to hit that early. I've been up since 3:30 and I'm going to try and fly tomorrow. So I'm going to go to bed early tonight. Sorry?
I said nice.
I know. I had to take my wife to the airport this morning so her and my son could fly to New York. And
New York, get a rope.
I know. New York City. And I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And I'm fading fast.
So go, fucker.
Everybody that's stayed for this length of time, sorry we got into some like weird YouTube stuff there at the end, but the rest was funny and the beginning was great, and the first hour was really good. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I will be back Friday night, and I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it on Friday night. It's going to be awesome, and I'll see you guys then. In the meantime, we're just gonna make we're gonna set and go. See you.
Did you know if you put your top lip and your bottom lip and you press them together, you will experience how to shut the fuck up?